Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So today I want to introduce you guys to the Inner Alchemy system of Sun Moon Academy. And this is essentially why we need Inner Alchemy. So we have our fate, right? We all have our destiny. And in our destiny, these three things are not in our control. We are not in control of our health. Anything can happen according to our destiny. We can have great health, but there can be seasons of disease. We don't have control over our wealth. We may have seasons where we have a lot of money, but then we have seasons where that money is taken away from us, one way or the other. And lastly, our reputation. That is also something that is fickle. It comes and goes. Sometime we might be in a great place. We may have great friends. Other times we have enemies. So these three things we cannot control. However, we also have virtue. And the three things that we can control. When these three things are not working and they're not going in our favor, this is what we have to go to. We have to go to our virtues, which is our energy, our breath, and our awareness. Now, when we were in the womb, these three virtues were all one. Our breath was one, our energy was where our breath was, and our awareness is where our energy and breath were all. They were all together. We were in a state of perfection. When all of these things are together, depending on the location of where they're at, we are in unity, we're in samadhi. Now, as we're born, our energy goes down, goes to our belly area or our chest area, if you're a woman. However, when you're born, it actually goes down. It only comes up here when you hit puberty. Our breath stays here. Our breath is shallow. We're not breathing very deeply, especially as we get older. Our breath gets removed from us, and it's not as primordial as it was when you were in the womb. In the womb, you weren't necessarily breathing, but your mother was breathing for you. And in that sense, your breathing was in perfection. And lastly, our awareness goes up to the head. We start seeing with our eyes. We start hearing with our ears. So once again, energy goes down, breath scatters, and awareness goes up. So all of these get fragmented when we're born. And now what we have to do as alchemists is bring the three together once again. So this is what this entire course will be about, is how to bring these three, energy, breath, and awareness together. Now, I want to expand on these three a little bit more and explain to you guys what exactly happens when they come together. So for example, when breath and awareness, B and A, come together, what do we get? We get meditation, or what they say is meditation, right? A lot of meditation practices are based on the breath or breath work, right? That's when breath and awareness comes together. When energy and breath come together, what do we have? And when I say energy, I mean the physical matter, right? The physicality of things. Because there's also an energetic energy which is within the breath. However, we'll get to that later. So breath and awareness, we get meditation. Energy and breath, what do we get? We're working out. When we go to the gym, that's energy and breath. Is a workout. Now, There's a time when these three things come together. Energy, breath, and awareness come together. When you hit puberty, there's a special thing that happens where you're able to bring them all together in one place down here, right? And that is an orgasm. So EBA. However, that is not the highest form of it coming together, because you can also bring these three together and have them circulate different parts of your body. And that's called alignment. You know, when you have orgasm, there's a lot of alignment. Even it may be for a couple of seconds, there is alignment. However, if you can have all of your energy and your breath and your awareness move all together, you have alignment. Alignment. Now, lastly, what we're essentially doing is connecting to God through these practices. Energy, breath, and awareness. When they meet here, we get an orgasm. But when they meet here, we get enlightenment. We get our meeting with the divine. So, lastly, EBA and the higher center is enlightenment. Now, breath is also known as chi or prana, is another way of looking at breath. And you may realize that the chi and prana are the subtle forms of breath, because there are times when we're not necessarily breathing, yet we're still alive. That's because the chi and the prana are taking care of us. Now, you know, to clarify, we'll say energy is lower, awareness is higher. Now, when I say awareness is higher, only we as humans have awareness. Only we as humans have consciousness. Animals do have energy, they have breath as well, but they're lacking awareness. This awareness is what helps us connect with the highest. Otherwise, we wouldn't need to be human to do this alchemy and to connect with God. You know, it's said that we're made in the image of God, and that's exactly what this means. We're made to realize God, whereas other animals or creatures have to come and have a human birth in order to realize God. So we're living, it should be a gift. We should be grateful every day that we have the opportunity to connect with God. This stuff goes. Your health, wealth, and reputation, this is fickle. It can go any moment. And if you're clinging on to this, then you don't have virtue. These are the two things. There's no good or bad, right? It's all subjective. When it comes to your health, let's say you value your health. You'll wake up and give yourself a hard time just because you want to maintain your wealth or health. Same thing, right? However, we should not rely upon these things. We should rely upon the energy, breath, and awareness. So this is just the fundamentals on why you should practice inner alchemy and what is inner alchemy, virtue. This is the inner alchemy. Whereas this, you could say, is outer alchemy. It's fate. It's fated. You're fated to die. So in inner alchemy, it's like, how can we become immortal? How can we live? How can our consciousness live on? Because awareness or consciousness does live on forever. And It can only be so if we cultivate it. However, if it's not cultivated, then we're just living like animals. So anyway, thank you for watching, everyone. This is just a start. I wanted to give you guys an overview of what we're going to be getting into and a reason why these things are fickle and why we need to be on an internal path rather than an external path. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.